Imagine if in Avengers, Infinity War, the snap didn't erase the half of the universe we saw disappear, but instead, the other half vanished. What if Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and the team on Titan all survived, but the other Avengers on Earth were the ones wiped out? This small change could have rewritten the entire course of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First, let's talk about Tony Stark. In the original timeline, he survived the snap, but just barely. Doctor Strange saw over 14 million futures and only one path to victory. That's why he silently promised Thanos to protect Tony at all costs. Tony was the key to winning the war, and that promise meant he would live, no matter what. So if the other half snapped away, Tony would still be alive, and his survival becomes the cornerstone for everything that follows. With Tony alive, the entire Titan team, Tony, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and the Guardians present on Titan, would remain intact. Meanwhile, the other 5 Avengers on Earth, Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, and Hawkeye, would have been snapped away, creating a completely different dynamic for the remaining heroes. Now, this would have a huge impact on the fight against Thanos and the mission to undo the snap. One of the biggest challenges in Endgame was producing enough Pym particles to safely travel through the quantum realm. But here, Hank Pym and his team are still alive, working alongside Tony Stark. Tony's genius combined with Hank's knowledge could have rapidly accelerated Pym particle production, making time travel more accessible and reliable much earlier. The time heist mission itself would have gone smoother. Remember how Nebula's encounter with her past self complicated the mission and nearly caused its failure. Without that confrontation, the team could have avoided dangerous distractions, allowing them to collect the Infinity Stones with fewer obstacles. Speaking of the stones, the biggest hurdle would still be the Soul Stone. Its price, sacrificing someone you love, is non-negotiable. But Doctor Strange, with his mastery of magic and understanding of timelines, could have convinced his past self to hand over the Time Stone willingly, knowing it was necessary for the future. This cooperation could have streamlined the stone collection process immensely. And with Captain Marvel still in the mix, a hero with cosmic-level power, she could have been the one to wield the Infinity Gauntlet in the final battle, performing the snap to bring everyone back without putting Tony's life on the line. In this scenario, the Avengers might have avoided the tragic losses and heart-wrenching sacrifices that defined Endgame. Time travel would have been smoother, the stones easier to collect, and the final fight against Thanos could have ended sooner, maybe even without the heartbreak of losing so many beloved heroes. But beyond the practical benefits, this scenario also raises emotional and philosophical questions. What happens to the world where half the people, including some of our favorite Avengers, suddenly vanish? How do those left behind cope with loss, grief, and rebuilding? And what kind of heroism emerges when the stakes are so high and the cost so personal? This what if theory shows just how pivotal Tony Stark was, and how Doctor Strange's promise to protect him shaped the fate of the entire universe. It reminds us that sometimes, the smallest changes can create massive ripple effects, not just in battle, but in the hearts of the heroes and the worlds they fight to save. So, what do you think? Would the Avengers have succeeded faster if the other half snapped away? Would the universe be better or worse off? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Marvel's multiverse, hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing theories. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the multiverse, every choice matters. If you love exploring Marvel's mysteries and what-ifs, make sure to subscribe and